Coach, can you just tell us a little bit about what you plan to do lineup-wise tonight?
Well, you know, the goalie, the defenseman stays the same, and with the forwards, Zingle and Wingles are coming in for Stahlberg and Neal.
Can you update Victor at all on his status? Is he long-term?
Oh, no, he's day-to-day. Okay. He's day-to-day.
What do you hope the players get out of a day where they, on game day, don't have a morning skate? And what was the focus of attention sort of aimed at today?
The exact same thing we did against the Rangers on the 6th game. The exact same thing we did for 3 games in that series, 3 o'clock games, and the first series the same. So I hate morning skates. So I've said it since September. So that's 1, and 2. At this time of the year, we've played 100 games. So it's not the 2-3 little passes we're going to make on the ice this morning. They're going to change something tonight.
Coach, the Pittsburgh defense is probably the most vulnerable unit on that team. What can you do to try and exploit that and make life difficult for them on their blue line?
Well, they didn't seem very vulnerable to me on the video, to be honest with you. I thought they played very well. I thought they complemented their offense very well, and there's definitely threats there. Schultz has got a terrific shot, and whether it's on a power play or 5-on-5, I think his one-timer is a threat. And I think their forwards are really good at helping them. So, you know, from what we've seen, I thought their defensemen played really well. So I don't see their weakness there.
Guy, for a team like the Penguins, do you feel you have to tweak anything defensively, or is what you did against the Rangers what you feel could have success here?
Well, every team poses its challenges, obviously, and this is the Stanley Cup champions. It's the team that just beat the #1 team in the league. So there's a lot of things that we have to be aware of, and you know, they got 3 forward stars, and I don't know what their lines are going to be, but they could be on 3 different lines. So obviously, we're going to have our hands full in that regard. I just think that for us, we've played a certain way all year, and yes, we adapt, and yes, we tweak things, but for the most part, we stay true to our identity, to our strengths all year, and we've done that throughout the series too. And we just played a really fast team. I've said it before this series. I always thought the 2 fastest teams in the league were the Rangers and the Pittsburgh. So I think right now we will have met the 2 fastest teams in the league, and I think that poses the greatest challenge, I think, to anybody, any team. And we're going to have to make sure that we can't allow all that speed to take over, for sure.
You guys have been a resilient team all year, but in terms of the team's kind of confidence, how has it changed as you've gotten to this level in terms of what you think this group can accomplish?
Well, we've been going about it the same way. So we're looking at the first 10 minutes of this game. Everything else above that, beyond that, and we've never paid attention to it, and we're not going to start doing that right now. I think we're trimming it down to its simplest expression of what we have to do, and that's to go on the ice and put our game on the ice. So, you know, whether the stage is bigger or not, and our show can't change, and we're not gonna change our approach in that regard.
Guy, between your time in Tampa and your time here, the league got faster kind of year to year.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever think that maybe you needed to alter the system, or have you altered your system to account for that? And if not, why? What about the system allows for it to work even as the league gets faster?
I've done the same thing everywhere I've been. So I was in Europe, and Switzerland was extremely fast league based on speed and with the size of the ice. So I've done the same thing there, done the same thing in Tampa, done the same thing here. I mean, obviously you evolve as a coach, and there's things you do a bit differently, but the core of what I've always done stays the same, and it's just the peripheral things change, and systems change from year to year because you adapt to the players you have, and you know, I've adapted to the players that are here, and the same in Tampa, and the same everywhere I've been. So that's not going to change. The speed of the game is getting faster and faster. I think what we're seeing now throughout the league is that, you know, your 3rd line now has to be your 4th line. The old 3rd line doesn't. You don't really have a 4th line anymore. If you have, you can't make it through, and I think that's made a big difference. Our GM went out and got us some speed guys like Stahlberg and Wingles, and it created some depth in our lineup. That certainly paid off for us. And then we've created you know, our 4th line was like a 3rd line, and you look at every team that's left, that's exactly what they've got, and that's speed on every line. It's just speed now is I think the #1 thing, even above hockey sense. because it's such a fast league that the fast players will get through your systems. We saw it with the Rangers. You know, they got guys like Grabner and Kreider, and once they're a straight line, they're gone. Doesn't matter what systems you've got. You know, there's a chance they're going right through it, and it's the same with Pittsburgh. You know, it's whether I use one system or another. In the end, like you said, speed right now is the name of the game, and you see all these young guys that are coming in because of their speed and their stamina and their strength, their explosiveness. They're ready to play in the NHL quicker and faster, and it's going to get faster and faster as we move along. And you're right, 4 years for me, that's the biggest change. I think the entire league, the neutral zone, is tougher to get through because everybody's kind of scared of that speed. It is scary. But did I adjust a little bit here and there, but not to say that I've changed much.
Guy, when you're going up against the defending Cup champs and some of the obvious stars that Pittsburgh has, is there any concern that your guys may give them too much respect, or, you know, I mean, going into a series like this?
No, because I think since we've started the season, the word respect has always been a part of our talk with the players. We want to respect the opponent, but it's important that we are ourselves, and we spend 80% of our time talking about ourselves and what we need to do, and 20% of them about the opponent. And obviously, you need to be aware of them, whoever they are. They got their strength, they got their weaknesses, and we've done that all year. So we haven't changed our approach for this series at all. It's just we spend 20% of the time getting to know what they're going to do and what their tendencies are, but 80% of the time we've relied on focusing on our strengths and how we can get them better, how we can grow every day, and our players have grown daily, and that's why we're still here.